Welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about everything ICP, even the ecosystem meme coins. We're going to be running charts on those. This morning, I dropped a post asking the community what coins they wanted me to take a peek at, folks, and we'll also be talking about why I think ICP can run to 150 bucks. Now, most of these projects can be found on Kongswap, which is a new DEX on the IC, which I am an advisor for. Now, EXE, folks, is the first token that we will start off with. Shill Gates is the mastermind behind Windows 98, and also Shill Gates has created a lot of what you see here on Kongswap. So Shill Gates shall not be faded as far as I'm concerned. Now, you'll see that we've got some interesting lines and stuff like that on the chart. Number one, we've got a very nice bull pennant that is formed on the EXE chart, folks. And we've got these angular lines here. These are Fibonacci channels. And this basically allows us to measure price action on a Fibonacci scale at an angular movement. Now, what I like about this is the last bull run, folks, I coined a term called the Fibonacci sliver. Now, the Fibonacci sliver is basically when price action gets to a point where it's in some sort of squeeze pattern, like a symmetrical triangle, and this thing presses along the lower trend line of a Fibonacci channel. This is called a Fibonacci sliver. And basically, price gets forced to make a move up or down. Obviously, we've got a bull run that could possibly be happening right now. None of this is financial or trading advice. I just want to make that very clear. I'm not affiliated with any of the projects other than Kongswap. And folks, you're going to have to do your own research on everything I mentioned today. But anyways, we've got some very impressive movements that could happen with EXE. And at the end of the day, we are seeing a very nice squeeze that is happening. And I do think that by the end of January, we are going to see EXE probably explode. I do think that if you see this thing trading above the 90 to 91 cent to a dollar level, depending on when you see this video, there's a good chance we might have broken this upper trend line. Also, if you see this thing really bottoming out lower than 50 cents, means that this thing's in price discovery mode, maybe back down to 37 cents. But we'll try to cover EXE on a regular basis here. But I do think that we might see some sort of Elliott wave theory, maybe something like this occur with EXE. And it wouldn't surprise me to hit $1.60. $3.68, even $6, $7. But what would really impress me more is if we ended up around this $29, $30 level. You guys got to understand that we've got a very pro-crypto administration coming into the United States. And this is going to open up the floodgates for crypto. So I do think that, you know, some of these numbers, which might not have seemed possible 6 months to a year ago, may be possible going into the next year, depending on how everything plays out. But for now, what we really need to do is just wait and watch on EXE and figure out where this thing's going, what kind of velocity it has. KINIC, folks, is an interesting project. I do own KINIC tokens, OG enough that I participated in the SNS sale on this. We got a descending triangle, maybe a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders cooking here, a triple bottom at about the $1.40 level. So if you see it break that $1.40 level, this thing could be in price discovery mode to the bottom. This thing has, however, hit the $7.86 level and really maintained quite nicely since about October of 2024. But this descending triangle is squeezing the price, and I'm hoping that we see a nice bounce to the upside. But this is just one of those things. We just need to wait and see where price action is moving. Now, breaking bits, first time ever covering this one as far as TA is concerned. It was really kind of a tough one. We had a very nice pump and then a sell-off. Now, I do think that price action has followed these gone fans to a T. I mean, you can just see how price action has been really interacting with these support or with this 2-to-1 as support and resistance levels. I do think that right now, bits is going to need to bounce above 0.00546, and I do think that it might have a shot at coming up to about 0.008, somewhere in there. But if you see this thing fail or break down, we could easily see 0.0026-ish if this thing comes down to test the 8-to-1 ratio on this Gone fan. But it's going to be interesting. I might keep my eye on this one. Again, I don't know anything about this project, but I'm a fan of Breaking Bad. So Breaking Bits, I get it. It's kind of cute. So it'd be interesting to see if price does come up and test this 50 moving average. Maybe we'll revisit it next week. Bone, I have no clue. I don't know what bone is, but I can tell you guys this: it's pumped quite nicely. We've got a very nice Fibonacci channel here, and price bounced right up to the 161.8, which is a nice golden ratio as far as Fibonacci is concerned. On the 4-hour chart, I do think that price action is still too far away from this Ichimoku cloud, and I do think that we are going to see one of three things happen. Maybe we'll see some sort of ascending triangle where price just goes like this, or maybe what we'll do is see some sort of bull flag, because we've got a very nice bull pennant that has erected. Again, I know nothing about this project or who controls it or anything, so be very careful with any of these. The FUD cartel has been really hot on Kongswap, folks. Kongswap has just taken an immense amount of FUDding. It's been absolutely crazy. But in yesterday's TA, I had said that there was a falling wedge that had formed on the charts. Now, the FUDsters came out in full force because of this little pullback. So after running up 1,000%, the FUDsters really came out of the woodwork and really kind of tried to clobber Kong, right? When you're at the top, you're the first target. Does appear that people have started to buy the dip, so I would love to see this thing break past the 0.064-ish level, and I would love to see this thing really rip up to the 10-cent level and retest that area. Now, I'm looking at this 4-hour chart as well, and in yesterday's video, I was telling everybody how I thought price needed to come back and connect with this 50 moving average. So I would like to see this thing interact with the 50 moving average, if at all, and before it makes its next drive to the upside. But we're seeing lots of spinning tops here, which indicates that there could be a change in momentum. So Kongswap, I would love to see this thing really start to cook back to the upside. I mean, realistically, this thing retraced right down to the golden ratio, which is not surprising at all. This is a healthy retracement, in my own opinion, not financial or trading advice. And Bob token, folks, is on an absolute steroid rage. We've got a very nice bull flagpole, bull pennant forming, guys. I think that this thing's got a great shot at really ripping to some of these higher numbers. If you see this white trend line I've drew here, basically it's a measurement from the top of the cup down to the bottom of the cup. And this is sometimes a method that traders will use to try to gauge how much a cup and handle can produce, right? So I do think that, yeah, we could see Bob at least come right back up to this $3.50 level, which is, guess what? All-time highs, $3.32. Now we're seeing this trend line right in that same area. Guys, I think that this could really dart upwards to those levels. So we'll just have to keep an eye on Bob, but it's squeezing pretty bad. Now, the markets are in a dump, folks. ICP is down 2.5% on the day. We're seeing this similar cup and handle that is formed on Bob. And I do think, folks, that once this thing fully executes, and this thing has been going on, and basically this pattern has been going on since March of 2022. But I do think that at this point in time, it wouldn't surprise me to see ICP somewhere at $153 or in that area especially once they go ahead and release Caffeine AI. I do think that there could be a great chance for some explosive price action. Now, in yesterday's video, I was also talking about how I thought we are seeing a bull pennant form on ICP as well. And I drew this up yesterday. You can see that price action is still kind of playing within this bull pennant. So I do think that right now ICP tokens are looking fairly decent overall. Again, do your own research on these. I don't know enough to really provide any sound advice on any of them, maybe except for Kongswap and EXE. But I love you all, and we'll see you guys on the next video.